best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup.
8:01 here at the Big Dog, WIFO-FM. Time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply.
Good morning, Jonathan. We got a full lineup today. We've first got State Representative Bill Werkheiser on the phone, and then after we talk with him, we'll be talking with the high school principal, Brett McDaniel, about the ceremony tomorrow night for the scholarship announcements. But first, we've got State Representative Bill Werkheiser on the phone. Bill, how you doing today?
Doing good. How about y'all?
Doing great. We talked with State Senator Blake Tillery yesterday. He said if you're a betting man, bet for June the 15th is the day you go back to the session. You hearing that?
I'm certainly not the one arguing him, so let's go with that.
Okay. That's what he said. I said there's two dates out there. The Lieutenant Governor and the House Speaker have two different dates, but Blake Tillery said if you're a betting man, you bet on that Monday, June 15th is the date he thinks the session's going to resume. So how soon do you think will you go up there early to get things settled, or what's your plan?
Yeah, because, and as he mentioned, we'll have some meetings before then, so we'll probably go up the week before. You know, we've got kids and grandkids up there, so always good opportunity to visit with them. And then as he also mentioned, we've already been meeting via Zoom with the appropriations, and had several meetings already. Had one a couple of days ago. So, yep, he's got his hands full, and it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, he says it's going to be interesting as well. Like I said, the big concern is the budget. You know, they sent out that memo asking all departments to look for 14% cuts across the board, which will be a big hit to a lot of people. I've already seen colleges and universities, high schools around the area talking about furlough days already. It's going to be interesting to see how the final economic impact really is in the state of Georgia and nationwide.
Yeah, and just think about the mentality change where just not even 2 months ago, teachers here in Georgia were looking forward to getting the second half of a 2-year raise, and, you know, a month and a half later, they're looking at not only not getting a raise, but probably getting some furlough days. But there's not going to be a sector that's not affected. And I tell you, I mean, everybody, we're in it together, and I haven't had a single teacher complain about that. We're all going to have to take a hit. I mean, you know, at least, you know, they're still getting checks. Some of these business owners, you know, I really fear for, because, I mean, their income's been cut off. So it's going to be tough for everybody.
You know, I was thinking about college towns like Athens. All those kids have been sent home. I mean, they've really got to be taking a hit. I mean, that's their livelihood, all those kids visiting all those places and purchasing whatever they purchase and food. I mean, I can't imagine the economic impact the college towns with those kids home from college is taking.
And Bob, I saw that firsthand many years ago. I owned a phone book company in Hinesville, and of course, the revenue was advertisers. And when Fort Stewart was deployed, it was like turning off a faucet. I mean, it was sudden. All the businesses really hurt when they have a massive deployment. So I saw how that happened, and yeah, and then, you know, every college town. It's very few people that have not been affected, and then, I mean, for every business owner, then you've got their employees, and, you know, the unemployment has helped them some, but I don't know if a lot of your listeners know this, but business owners generally don't qualify for unemployment insurance. If you're not a corporation and you're a you know, true small business, you know, they don't get unemployment because they're W-2 themselves. But anyway, there's many who will not qualify for that.
I don't know what's going on in your neighborhood, but just driving around Wayne County the last couple of days, you know, things have been opening up slowly but surely. The restaurants that have opened up, they look like they're definitely getting business. I went by several yesterday. The parking lots are full. People are going inside. I mean, it just seems like people are ready to get back to some type of normalcy. The more things open up, it looks like, people are just ready to get out. Plus, the weather's getting warmer. People are just ready to get out and do things. Saw a group of teenagers yesterday, talked to them, and they talked about how bored they were. They don't have anything to do. They're just bored to death. So I just think people are just ready to get back. The governor opened up earlier than most people, took a lot of hits for it, but so far so good.
Yeah, it has been. And I read this morning where now all 50 states are open. So, ready to get this thing rolling.
It's going to be interesting how this weekend goes, Memorial Day weekend. I saw, this is interesting. I said, as we mentioned, the governor opened up earlier. I don't know how they know these statistics, but I saw a report that the first week that he opened up, 63,000 out-of-state residents visited the state of Georgia. Now, I don't know how they know that, but that's what they said. 63,000 people came flocking into Georgia like, good, there's finally somebody opened. That's how people are. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. People are just getting fed up. They're ready to get back to normalcy.
Well, you know what they say about statistics. 82% of statistics are made up to prove the point.
That's true. I said, I don't know how they do that, man, but that was just an interesting story I saw. 63, I don't know. I said, how do they know that? How can they tell who's coming in, who's going out? So, but
I will tell you this, though. Our Georgia Department of Transportation has a very sophisticated data center. I've been there. It's like it is wall to wall, from ceiling to countertop of screens, and they do traffic counts and actually, and that's one of the things that appropriations is depending on, and is DOT data to show us how it's one of the data points we use to track the economy because they've been doing it long enough. It's kind of a leading indicator for us. So who knows?
Again, we ask all representatives, like I said, you hear from the constituents more than we do, so just curious what's on their mind. Are they still, Blake Tillery said that some people are having trouble with their unemployment issues, things like that. So what are you hearing from your constituents? He says that all the small businesses seem to be able to get their loans, and everything seems to be going smoothly in that regard. But what are you hearing from your constituents? Any concerns, any problems?
Yeah, the business owners, I try to talk to as many as I can, and they, again, it's one extreme or the other. Either for some reason, some have done very well during this period, and others are struggling. But government programs has not been the hang-up for them. For the ones that have had to close, it's just getting back open. Most of the folks that I've been helping have been unemployment insurance related, and if they send me an email, I'm able to help them with that. Haven't had as many tax people with tax refunds yet, and I guess that's because they probably haven't filed them, because the American mindset is if you give us a deadline, we're going to wait until that day to file. I did go ahead and do mine, but that's again going to affect the revenue for Georgia, because that's a big part of our income.
Again, if you're just joining us, Bill Werkheiser on the phone with a state representative, Wednesdays with Werkheiser. It's been several weeks now since your friend Jack Hill passed away. I saw where you have a resolution where you want to name a park after him. Tell us about that.
Yeah, and that, really was not my idea more than anybody else's. It was interesting as the time became appropriate, how to appropriately honor him. There was no second place. I heard from so many people, and the interesting thing is, I told somebody the other day, he served like 11 counties. There was projects in every one of those counties that could have been named after him, but no one mentioned that. It was the state park. He loved that park. He had a big hand in saving it financially, and it was very dear to him. He and Ruth Ann loved to visit it, and so it was just that name. The only difference was it was like, well, let's name the pavilion, let's name the building, let's name, the actual park. So that's, so talk to Senator Tillery, because, he covered, Senator Tillery actually has more of Tattnall than Jack, which is his hometown. So I talked with Senator Tillery about, let's do this together, and so that's our plan.
Sounds good. As I said, the budget's going to be the big thing, and I've asked all our representatives when they get up there, like I said, they talk about the budget, but I ask, is there anything else that we need to be aware of that's going to be a pressing issue among the legislative session when they get back for the last 11 days? So anything that we need to be aware of besides the budget?
Well, I don't know. It's interesting. Most of the legislators have a bill or two, and that's the most important bill in the buildings is their bill, almost like what you said about essential businesses. But there's not going to be a lot of money extra to fund anything new. So I don't know. There'll be some areas that we'll have to address, but none that come to that rise to the top like the budget. So.
Well, a lot of people listening, they got kids, they're wondering, about schools. Will they open up? Will we have regular schools? The governor still has his shelter in place for the elderly until June 12th. But how soon do you think we'll see an announcement from the governor as far as schools reopening or possibility about that? Have you any idea when that'll take place?
I have no idea. And as you've seen with a couple of the last announcements, even as deadlines approached, he's not been very public about that. And I think the reason for not that he's been secretive, but trying to get the very latest data that he can. So I don't know.
Everybody's on hold because he has to make that announcement. Like I said, GHSA, they're hopeful. You see all these hopeful stories, hopeful dates, but until the governor makes an announcement where things can open up on that regard, everybody's still on hold. So it'll be interesting to see when he makes that announcement.
Yeah, and I sure hope football happens.
Yep.
How's that?
You and me both.
All right. Well,
I promise you one thing, they're going to have football in Alabama. I don't know if anybody else is going to have football, but Nick Saban already told them they're having football in Alabama. So
that's funny.
There's a religion in Alabama.
So, that's funny and true.
Like I said, we go to church on Sunday. They go to football on Saturdays. That's what. Anyway, funny. Bill, always good talking to you. We'll look forward to talking to you next Wednesday. Hopefully June 12th is the date you all get back up there and get it on. Work on that budget. It will be a difficult task. Again, it's going to hurt a lot of agencies. Like I said, it looks like furlough days are coming back to a lot of agencies. I see it every day in the news, so it'll be interesting. But hopefully, the governor moving quickly, getting things going slowly but surely. Hope, like I said, I don't know what you see in your neighborhood, but here in Wayne County, it looks like people are just ready to get back. And like I said, I drove by several restaurants yesterday. The parking lots were pretty well packed. So they're practicing social distancing, but they're still people are willing to go in. That's the question too. It's personal choice. Just because they open up, are people going to visit those? But it looks like people are definitely doing that here in Wayne County.
Well, Wayne County is my neighborhood. I was there yesterday and looking for a place to eat, and wasn't being very particular, but every drive-through was wrapped around the building, and the last car in line was right in front of the first car in line. So, I think people are ready to get going.
Okay. Well, again, we appreciate you being here on Wednesdays. Wednesdays Werkheiser. We'll talk to you next Wednesday.
All right.
We'll be back with high school principal Brett McDaniel right after this timeout.
Woody Folsom Automotive's maintaining our social distancing, giving free home delivery, doing all those things, same as you. So walk right into South Georgia Chevrolet Place and talk to us. Or go online to woodyfolsom.com, where you'll find nearly 800 in stock, 0% for 84 months, GM Financial financing on 2020 Silverado and Sierra, Terrain, Equinox, Acadia, and many more.
Plus 0 for 84 on all new Buicks and GMC Canyon and Yukons. plus a free lifetime powertrain warranty. Call, click, or come on in. This is still America, and we will get through it, and get through it together. God bless you big time. We appreciate you.
Find new roads, find free financing, and find people who care about you. Better get to Baxley, where you'll find all of it at Woody Folsom Automotive. Zero in on 0% for 84 months. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
God bless you big time. We appreciate you.
Murphy's Builder Supply is where you need to go for all your home improvement projects and hardware needs. They've been serving folks in this area since 1946. Murphy's offers some products and services that you may not know about. They now sell ammunition, both bullets and shells. Murphy's also sells personalized tags for dog collars. They build customized screens for windows and doors. Murphy's can rekey locks, and of course they can make keys. They cut glass for windows, plus Murphy's has monthly door buster specials. Check their Facebook page to see what's on sale. Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup.
Welcome back. More of the world-famous Butch and Bob Show. Special guest in the studio with us, high school principal Brett McDaniel. Brett, how you been?
Doing good, Bob. How about yourself?
Good. It's good to see you. As always, again, a lot going on. You know, I'm sure, as I mentioned off the air with you, I'm sure your phone's ringing off the hook, all kinds of questions from people. When's school going to get back in session? But as we emphasize, no one can do anything until the governor, makes a ruling and makes an announcement. But we've got a special event taking place tomorrow night, which is why you're definitely here to talk about the Wayne County High School virtual scholarship award ceremony. Tell us about that, how people can view that, and what all is going to take place.
Well, Bob, we've had to kind of make some decisions based on what the governor and our local authorities and our health professionals have kind of been guiding the train as we go through these last 6 weeks or so. And it has been a different day and time, and our seniors have missed out on a few things here and there. But we've tried to honor those time-honored traditions that we've had over the years, and our virtual honor celebration, we hope, will be one of those tomorrow night that honors our kids who have done well over the 4 years and received a lot of accolades and stuff like that. So the only really way we could put that together with the restraints that we've been given from the governor and from our local folks with social distancing and all that was through a virtual ceremony. And it'll be at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. There'll be a link on the high school web pages, the Facebook page, our guidance web page, and our guidance Facebook page for the link so that everybody can view it. So anyway, it's just an opportunity to get the kids some recognition for their hard work and what they've done, and some recognition for our folks in the community. I heard some of the interview with Mr. Werkheiser, and the economic downturn has been significant, even in Wayne County and our various counties. But our folks have still stepped up and provided the scholarships for our outgoing seniors. So we definitely appreciate that. We have about 70 seniors that are going to be receiving some type of scholarship tomorrow night, and about 80 businesses and colleges will be represented. So I think at present we've got about $1,743,975 of scholarships that'll be awarded tomorrow night virtually on our virtual honor celebration. So just a big time in the life of our seniors that are leaving us. But again, we want to be able to recognize them in some way, and we hope that this virtual ceremony brings honor to them and to their families for all the hard work and dedication that they put in through their career through the Wayne County school system.
How will this work? Is this just somebody making the announcements? So, on the link, the students aren't going to be there, are they, or are they?
No, sir. There won't be anybody this was something that we finished actually yesterday or Monday, and we've tweaked it a little bit the last couple of days. But I have to give a big shout out to Ken Widener. He's put probably 50 to 60 hours in on this. He's very tech savvy, has a lot of knowledge with, virtual video or equipment and imposing videos and music and all that kind of stuff. He's been kind of the lead person on putting it all together for us, but it'll be kind of some announcements, and then do the vow and sow, and then we start the scholarship piece, and there'll be the reading of the blurb about what the scholarship is and what it's worth, and then there's like a logo with the scholarship, the person who's presenting the scholarship or the business presenting the scholarship, and then the student's picture will be there, and their name will be read. So pretty neat, pretty unique setup. He did a really good job with it. And, Miss Renee Herron's probably been one of our biggest champions of this because she's done this for so many years. She was able to kind of step in and guide us through this process because she has a lot of knowledge and just a lot of experience with honor celebrations. So being this was a different day and time, she kind of piloted us through this thing. And our counselors worked really hard with her to try to make sure we got this done and done to the best of our knowledge and to be honorable to everybody in a difficult situation. Right,
they're very difficult. The Valens House been selected. Tell us who they are.
Oh goodness, it would be the Koreas. They're triplets, and I'm going to say, you threw me a curveball.
I'm sorry, but two of those three,
yes,
been valedictorian and salutatorian, right?
Yes. Man, I just drew a blank. I'm sorry about it.
That's all right. But again, this is definitely so. Again, if people want to watch this, explain how they can do that. Where they need to go, where do they find out? I know the time's 7:00, but what do? They just go to the high school website and go from there?
Yes, there'll be a link to the celebration on the WCHS webpage or our Facebook page, the Wayne County High School Guidance webpage, as well as the Wayne County High School Facebook page to pull the link up and then just click on it and it'll run the thing. I got a text who saves me, Miss Herron, thank you. Vanessa Correa is the vow and Anthony Correa is the salutatorian. So thank you to Miss Herron who was listening and Miss Lori Deere as well who's bailing me out this morning.
Yeah. Well, again, we're announcing, the superintendent and the board made the announcement that they're hoping for a graduation ceremony Saturday, July 18th at 10 a.m. But as I talked to Superintendent Jay Brinson this past Sunday, all the details still have to be worked out. I mean, I'm reading stories all across the country how other schools are trying to do graduation. Some are limited. They're saying school systems are just getting bashed by parents and grandparents saying they're limited it. So, in years past, of course, under normal circumstances, Wayne County always allows anybody who wants to come to the graduation ceremony to come to JC Stadium. But I'm sure with this pandemic crisis going on and all these social distancing requirements, things like that, I'm sure those, as I talked to Superintendent Brinson, none of those decisions have been made at this time. They're still waiting and hoping that things will improve between now and July 18th, and they'll go from there. But as far as no decision on how many people can attend and all that's still to be decided. Is that correct?
Correct. And what people need to understand is that we make decisions based on what our local governing bodies tell us and our local health care professionals and the governor itself. If a governor makes the mandate, we can't break the law. We don't want to be the one who has to be the one that goes out there and breaks the law, and then we're the cause of a pandemic in Wayne County. We want everybody to be safe, and we're going to abide by those laws. But again, our local folks and our state folks, governmental authorities, and healthcare professionals are the ones that are really guiding us through this process because we don't want to do something that's going to cause an issue for the citizens and the students and the parents of Wayne County. So we make decisions based on what information Mr. Werkheiser talked about a while ago. The governor's looking for data. Well, again, we're going by that data that he gives that passes down through the local systems and local authorities. So, excuse me, as that kind of filters down to us, we kind of make decisions that are based on that data. So they're our kind of guiding light. But we do want to try to honor our seniors and give them a ceremony of some sort, whether it be a full-fledged physical graduation like we've seen in the past, a traditional one, or whether it's some sort of unique situation, a drive-through situation, or something where we can honor them. We're holding out for our physical graduation, and if they say it's safe for us to meet in a big group, then we'll meet in a big group. If it's still not safe to, we have to do small group, then we'll do small group, kind of based on what our
right. We're just trying to emphasize the date has been set, but how it's going to play out still, like I said, it could be, hopefully, like I said, if things continue to go like they're going, it's more than a month away. Who knows? I mean, it may be, just got to keep your fingers crossed.
Right. A lot of systems have been following. They jumped out there and said that, we'll have it on May 22nd or May 29th. Then you see them kind of pushing back.
Right, they're backtracking. Right. Yeah.
Now it's up to they're kind of following suit to where we are is July 18th and July 25th, and trying to just hold out as long as they can. So we're kind of in line with everybody around us, really.
I say it's things we've never seen before, but let's be honest. I got my niece that was supposed to graduate, the date was she's graduating from college. William and Mary talking. You just hear the pain in her voice because can't have a party, can't do anything. I mean, the seniors with this virus just got shafted. I mean, really, no prom, everything's just. I feel sorry for all you have. I mean, your heart has to break for seniors, whether it's college or high school. I mean, just they're missing out on a lot of things that just normal people have. It's kind of sad.
It is sad, and I think that's kind of some of the things that we've tried to address with what we're doing. We've got some recognitions that we've tried to do as best we could to again follow the guidelines. But Friday night we're going to turn the stadium lights on at 7:30 from 7:30 to 8:30 to kind of honor our seniors, and we'll have something on the jumbotron on the scoreboard to kind of recognize them. So if people ride by and see the lights on, they'll know that we're trying to honor the seniors. We've Wayne County High School's rented the board up at in front of Sybil's and ran all the senior pictures and kind of what their plans are for after graduation. Various businesses in the city and the county have put stuff up, congratulating the seniors. Press Sentinel's run a big ad for us, put stuff up on the Wayne County billboard outside the school. So, it is a different day and a different time, and we're heartbroken for them. I mean, as a father of my own child, if they were in that situation, it would hurt. I mean, because they have worked hard for 13 years for this honor, but unfortunately, we have to do the best we can do. And
you mentioned a while ago the figure of the scholarship total. Again, can't say enough about these organizations and these businesses that have stepped up time and time again, year in, year out, to provide this. People are amazed how much money is handed out on the scholarship night. What's the figure this year again?
$1,743,975, and that's colleges and businesses, but that's truly amazing. And the figure goes up every year. I mean, more and more people come out and say they want to honor our seniors. So, again, we appreciate all the support we get from our community and our businesses that sponsor those scholarships.
All right. Well, you're in the school system. I'm sure you're talking to educators all across the state of Georgia. That's the big question I get. Will school start on time this coming fall? What are you hearing? What's your anticipation? Are you expecting just a regular school year, or do you think they'll push it back, or what are you hearing across the state?
We're planning kind of the same thing with the graduation. We're planning for the normal graduation, and then you always have a backup plan. And I think even with the way the governor's done things, and like I said, our local folks have been good about speaking with Dr. Brinson, and Dr. Brinson's kind of been filtering that to us, as guidance. And we're planning right now for an August opening, excuse me. And then, we'll have a backup plan. We've got a couple of months to get ready for it, but, we'll have a backup plan in case, the governor or local folks say, hey, we need to wait another 30 days or whatever to make sure that everybody's safe and that, we abide by the social distancing rules. So, again, we're planning for the 1st of August, and if it doesn't happen, then we'll have a backup plan.
Okay. Well, again, let's just reemphasize again the event tomorrow night, the Wayne County High School Virtual Scholarship Ceremony. Again, give us all the details and how people can view that.
Okay. Again, we'll have a link going out tomorrow. It'll be on the Wayne County webpage, our Facebook page, Wayne County High School Guidance page, as well as Wayne County High School Guidance Facebook page. A link will be sent to all the seniors that are involved in the morning. Kimbo message will go out to them so that they know and their parents know. So we'll get all the information out tomorrow morning. As these several people are involved with posting this stuff, so we'll get it to them and then get it out tomorrow morning. One other thing I'd like to mention, Bob, is June 3rd. It's a very important day for our seniors. That's when they'll pick up all their cords and gowns. Not gowns, cords and sashes and certificates, diploma, all that stuff will be in a packet for them on June 3rd. We'll do the same thing that we did with cap and gown pickup on May 15th, where we do the drive-through on the bus loop, and they need to have their sign up in their window so that we can see their name and get their packet of all their stuff that they'll need for graduation and stuff like that. But again, that'll be on June 3rd from 9 to 11 at the bus loop.
At the high school?
Yes, sir, at the high school.
Okay. I'm curious, the tornado came through Odom, the high school football field. Those bleachers were damaged pretty much. Did insurance cover that, or what's the plans on that? I know there's been discussion to just not even worry about it and move the band back where they used to be. I know they didn't make a decision at the board meeting the other day, but were you able to hear that discussion, or what's the thought process on that?
I think we're still in the holding pattern, from what I understand. Dr. Brinson and the board were discussing it, I think, before the next board meeting, and maybe come up with a decision. But right now, I think we're still in the holding pattern to kind of do some more legwork, and I think they were going to look and see what the feasibility of moving things around. So I hadn't heard anything in the last few days. I
mean, that was the only damage to the high school, right? Just that football field damage. I mean, the school wasn't damaged at all.
No, we had no physical damage at the school.
Sounds good. Is the maintenance staff working during this time, or how's that going?
Yes, everybody's on.
So people are still working, doing, trying to get ready, just like they would normally.
Yes.
Well, that's good. Have not had to lay off anybody in the school system at this time.
No, thankfully so. We've, I think our board and Dr. Brinson have done a really good job of working things to help our everybody involved, our teachers, our hourly folks, our maintenance staff, our bus shop folks. They've made a commitment to our staff and have held true to that. So I applaud them for doing what they say they're going to do, because they really have stepped up and done a good job in supporting all of our teachers and our staff.
And the staff's been finalized. I mean, the staff's ready to go. I know get the personnel at a board meeting, constant change every time, but as far as this school season, the staff's ready to grow, right?
Yes, sir. Everybody be ready to pick it back up in August. That's the game plan.
Sounds good. Well, again, we'll look forward to tomorrow night's scholarship award ceremony. The total again, $1 million what?
$1,743,975.
That's a lot of money handed out.
That's a lot of money.
So, I'm curious though. Seniors, how do they? Like I said, the school year kind of got done away with, but they're still moving on to college and all that. How do colleges award scholarships? How do they do that? I mean, what do they base it on? Is that changed, or is it just normal procedure? How do they know which students deserve scholarships and things like that when the school year was kind of shortened?
Right. All this started before the pandemic hit. So we started with our scholarship application process 1st of February, and it had to be back in right before we left to leave school. Then we've been, our counseling staff and our guidance staff have been working hard to talk back into with the scholarship committees and stuff like that to get their awardees. So it's been a continual process, and we, like I said, we've been working through the whole thing, here and there, and a lot of our time has been from home, so we didn't social gather anywhere and follow the guidelines set forth by the, our government, and so we were able to continue the process of gathering the scholarships, and we had the scholarships before we left, and then once we, had them, we could follow the process and procedures that we had in place, and the scholarship committees were good about turning stuff back in on time so we could get everything together. So we do appreciate that. That's been difficult too, but there's been some man hours put in trying to make sure this is pulled off.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming in. Like I said, anytime you need to get more information out, let us know. We'll get you on the show. But we'll look forward to tomorrow night's award ceremony, and also keep our fingers crossed on the graduation. Again, the date has been set. The question is what kind of graduation ceremony will take place on that Saturday, July 18th at 10 a.m., how many people will be allowed in, how it worked, all that's still to be worked out. But like I said, it's still a month away, so hopefully things will continue to move in the positive trend, and who knows, we may see a full JC Stadium before it's all said and done on that day.
That's our hope.
That's the hope, right?
That's the hope.
Again, always good to see you, Mr. McDaniel. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you for having me, Bob.
No problem. That's going to do it on today's World Famous Butch and Bob Show.
Brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply, 8:35 here on this Wednesday morning. We'll get an update from Fox News Radio right after this.
Drive forward, straight to Woody Folsom Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where we treat your family